Hello and welcome to the Connection podcast series. Today we are sitting with Finn MacDonald, who's president of Independent 2, the North American-based independent sheep plant. Finn, welcome. Thank you so much indeed for joining us. Now, I understand from our conversations before we started recording, you're just back from the AICC spring meeting. So tell us a little bit about what's going on in the North American corrugated market at the moment. Let's talk about some of the numbers and what the forecasts are saying.
Absolutely, Dan. First, thank you for the opportunity. It's a privilege to be here. Appreciate the time and hope I'm going to do some good for you and the audience today. Yes, you're right. Just back from Amelia Island in the Northeast Panhandle of Florida, where the AICC held its spring meeting. I would say we had a collection of over 300 individuals, box makers and manufacturers from across the association and the country show up and basically exclaim that everybody is probably neck deep in what you'd call good problems, Dan. When I said, tell me what a good problem is, then a good problem is we've got a lot of business. We've got business based on responsiveness and disruption due to COVID in the economy. We've got business based on new business and the positivity of moving forward and getting back to normal. So it's a collision of business that is hitting every box maker in the country in the same way. So that is that there's still a little bit of a tightness in the liner board market. That is creating a little bit of extension in timeline and I'll say getting sheets to all of us. That in turn is creating a little bit of pressure with our ability to serve our customers in a way that they've become accustomed to, which is usually very responsive, and we meet their demands every day. That demand and the shortness in supply has created some pricing changes across the industry that everybody's been working with late last year and this year. And what we found out is if everybody's busy and everybody is having some little more issue than normal getting business done, well, it's certainly not just in the box making side of business. It's in every single facet of business. So freight, labor, all your other raw materials, I mean, anything that you could possibly need to get things done, everything is under the same amount of pressure. So it is, like you say, it is a bucket full of good problems where by and large, we're trying to invest, right? You might say that money's still cheap and the need to invest and be able to get more done in a day or in a week, that positivity is all around us. But it is hitting us in the face every morning with the demand of, I need it now. It's got to be good. It's got to be dynamic. Let's go. So I think you could have had 300 people tell you the exact same thing had you been there.
And Finn, there's something that you mentioned quite early on there. You were talking about disruption. Right. Disruption, I think, probably could be summarized in terms of there's definitely been an evolution, a change in the way that corrugated is being used. And obviously this phenomena of e-commerce is very, very important right now. Sustainability obviously is still high on the agenda. But you were talking about rapid reaction times and disruption. And that's something that at Independent 2 you've actually really embraced because at the beginning of the pandemic, you took the opportunity and you installed a brand new digital press. So was it for you that it was, the writing was on the wall, that disruption was on its way, or was it a calculated gamble for you to get into digital?
Oh, I'd like to say the former, Dan, but anybody who knows me knows that it's probably the latter. What we thought is, we thought disruption would be there, but it would be more along those traditional digital principles, of just bringing digital value to a customer. So more, the ability to change quicker, the ability to message more specifically, the ability to help migrate either SKUs or launches or products from the emergent or concept stage up to the first or second order, and then maybe into scale. We knew the press would be able to handle all of that. What we've found is that this category almost that I'm defining in my mind, at least, as responsive packaging. Responsive is in terms of what's happened over the last 12 months. So responsive now could mean I had a traditional packaging buy that was manufactured elsewhere. It was in Europe, it was in Asia, it was scheduled to arrive and then marry up with a product and get out to market. But the ship is, the ship is somewhere, or the container can't be found, or I can't get a driver out of the port, or a million reasons. So now digital, or our digital press allows us to take the phone call and say, how do we fill that void, right? That's a response. Another side of response, which has been extremely, it's been a surprise, and I don't think digital acquisitions are made for this reason, but it has been the fact that if I typically had some sort of pack out element, so I've got a shipper and it needs 3 different labels on it in order to get out the door and to the customer. Well, to get those labels, I need people. Generally, those folks might not be full-time hires, but temp hires. So I need to get some people to come in and do a rather mundane job. It is difficult, if not impossible, to find that person and pay them and keep them. And then the job of adding low quantity SKUs to something is another level of complication and management for anybody who's at that company. So we're getting requests to basically say, can we have a digital solution to hand applying functional information to something quick to get it out the door? So that, if you talk about a back end problem, that's a back end problem that digital is actually helping our customers with. They don't have to get people in the building who aren't vetted or who may not have been screened, right? They don't have that concern and headache. And they can still meet the timeline of getting these smaller programs out the door with the accuracy they need on it. I didn't see that coming. I always thought digital was going to be a real high-end, marketing down, shelf-ready, bright light type of thing, and I'm solving this warehouse issue. But we take as much pride in that because to our customers, it's as important. And in the middle, you've got this opportunity as far as I think messaging goes. The responsive part of messaging coming in and out of COVID is that so much opportunity to address what the needed message is in that week or in that month. And sometimes it's caring. It's we're with you. We're in it together. It's my brand helping you have a better day. Wear a mask or be safe. Other weeks it's some expression of it might be a social message. Whatever that may be. It may be let's do more of this or let's stop doing that.
But Finn, it's almost like, particularly the last 12 months during the COVID pandemic, where messaging from governmental level has almost taken on a marketing theme, hasn't it? So it's almost like we've understood the principles of how, for example, Heineken or Budweiser can actually utilize the Super Bowl to actually then do brand campaigns. Right. We're now in a socio situation where the governments need to be actually issuing this kind of stuff as well. So it's almost an opportunity where digital means that we can react and we can do this quickly without the process of getting the artwork done and getting all of the print plates done and then getting all the board ready. So digital really is coming to the fore.
Correct. Yeah, I think that's an excellent example. And then somewhere in between, Dan, we were planning to get to, but we didn't know we might have to go there as quickly. And that's what I would say is it's kind of the ability to address new channels. And I'm going to use as an example of COVID bucked a lot of the traditional channel of get your end product out to a classic distribution center so that it could then end up in a retail environment and everything would be normal. Well, that a lot of folks got bucked over the last year doing it business that way. So they went to influencers and direct to customer, direct to doorstep. So we've been able to work with some customers on this incredible new opportunity to work with, I'll say, influencer specific messaging or packaging that then reaches a wide audience like what we're doing right now, that then creates an order, so to speak, that gets direct shipped to that customer. So, our customers are selling now in this direct channel that they didn't think they would probably reach as quickly a year ago, but they had to jump right into it. And
And
that's very,
Finn, you touched there on customers actually starting to work with this, and I guess the question now is, do you feel that, I mean, obviously the customers that get it, they get it.
right.
But do you think that looking back over the last 12 to 18 months as you started your digital journey, did you feel that it was you were leading your customers, or did you feel it was the other way around, that they were asking for it?
I think when you look back at it, Dan, it's probably always a mix, right? Was it 25, 25, 25, 25, or what? I think after the initial, right, the trauma of COVID, the initial trauma where you're not sure how to act or react. After we got through that blunt force, then I actually think a lot of customers opened up to some to the conversation as it related to either functionality or the ability to get right to your consumer in a different way. Literally turning a unbranded RSC into something that had a bit of experience or a bit more information, bit of brand to it. And I think the opportunity to get them to listen and make that investment perhaps more quickly, I do think that was a response to the situation that we were in. Otherwise, I think you would have had to approach them under normal conditions, right? And try to get in that room and sort of say, listen, if you want to grow these other segments of your business, this is how we can work over a long period of time to get you there. It's just, I think all that got compressed in a good way. And then folks were, they're like, we've got to get business out the door. The brand's got to continue, like the experience has got to continue. We're not going to put it through the normal vetting process. Let's throw pasta at the wall and see what it does.
So Finn, let's go back to the beginning of the story now, in terms of you obviously started looking at digital, 24 months ago, maybe? I mean, it may be longer than that. And obviously you had a chance to evaluate and have a look at quite a few of the offerings in the market. And I'm fascinated to hear from you now. I mean, you took a market first, which some people could say is quite a risky proposition, but you've taken the first of the domino aqueous digital printers. Talk to us a little bit about how that journey began and why you felt comfortable effectively working with a vendor who actually had no experience in the corrugated industry.
Right, Dan. Boy, that's a big one. Let me take a deep breath and try to get it all back at you in a layered format. First, I would say that maybe over 7-8 years, I've had a position at the company that, of all my key roles, one is always to see where is technology going and how can we apply it to our market. So I learned so much from some of the other digital manufacturers who are in the market today through experiences and summits and presentations that they made throughout that course of time. And I've seen their installs, and I've seen their products roll out, and I've seen the success of digital coming off those beautiful machines. What I didn't see was a natural connection to the quality or the format of that work and how it applied to my market, without me taking a fundamentally different step and saying, I'm going to step up and invest my entire company to get into a space that's it's not our normal business. It's not our comfort, so I'm either going to have to make a big radical step up into that, or I'm going to wait and see if this digital technology maybe takes I don't want to say step down, but maybe it takes a step in another direction towards what I call everyday digital. And you can truncate everyday digital into saying, we're going to print more digital on uncoated board than coated board, right? More of our everyday digital products are going to reach your doorstep than are going to hit you at the entryway of a nice retail destination, or perhaps come to you in home in a big glossy format. So we knew the market, we knew the playing field we wanted to be, and we had to wait till a technology kind of took a lateral move to address that. So we were patient. We were able to work with some partners on getting digital done over that period of time. But then when the X630i started to be, in the conversation, that's when I really got serious. And that probably was a two plus year effort. Um, your point about Domino being new to corrugated is accurate. What I would qualify that with is saying Domino by no stretch is new to digital. So they are very, very good, very, very demonstrated on their ability to take information and make it visual or functional or successful across a whole bunch of different medias. And the second partner in the equation is certainly the partner that Domino has with Sun, or Sun Automation Group. Sun is, I generally say, Sun's in every plant to everybody on this call today. Sun is around. Sun knows how to get a board through a press successfully. So if you take that little bit of chemistry there, if I need to get a sheet through a press and I need to have that sheet printed successfully, then that's where I actually think Sun Domino Sun experience adds up. So yes, it is a brand new machine, but it's got a lot of DNA and it's got a lot of experience and it's got a lot of talented people behind what makes that machine go. I would say that the type of company that we are is we have traditionally worked with other partners, manufacturing partners, on a lot of their first-in-class machines. So we're comfortable with it. We don't tend to tie everything in our business together to that machine's performance in week one. And it's either on or it's off. We somehow have the ability to create an extended timeline where we work together, we innovate together, we essentially get to know each other really well. And then we can scale or step our business up to some date down the road where we feel like we're good to go. Everything's green. Let's flood the machine center. Let's hire a second or third shift. Let's go.
Yeah, Finn, because I think, what's really interesting, and, I've been following digital printing on corrugated board for 15 years, I guess. And what was always fascinating was watching external businesses from outside our industry say, hey, look, we've got this solution. And, you look at it and you go, well, the sheet size is wrong, or, it's got to be in the direction of the flute or against the direction of the flute. And I think it's fair to say that some of the solutions that have come and also gone
right.
Was purely because they just didn't have an understanding. And I think what you've said there really beautifully is the fact that, with Sun Automation and with Domino and with you as well as an actual converter, you're bringing real life experience, and that's what the result is. And, because I guess it's probably fair to say also that, we should probably talk a little bit about ink sets, because I think that's one aspect of digital that maybe a lot of converters have not necessarily understood very well. And, you start putting UV on all types of board, and, can it be fully recycled? Can't it be fully recycled? Of course, you've now gone with a solution that is aqueous ink. So therefore the recyclability issue it's a given?
Correct. I'm going to put it in a column that it's a given. There is no issue. As far as food safe goes, I'd pretty much put it in a column there and say we don't need to worry about that. A big part of what we did is think of us as a brown box, right? DNA is brown box. Over the past 8 years or so, we've really tried to learn about how we can say we can manage brand, but we put a little bit of asterisk next to it. We will get your brand color. We will get your brand look. We will put it together in a way that is successful, but it also is not so stringent, not so tight that we're going to consume our entire week on that exactitude. So we have a little latitude. That my point there is that the Domino press, when you talk about ink set and range of gamut, and ability to perform over different types of substrate, to us, it checked the boxes. We're the company that came to the table and left surprised in a good way. And I can't think of many folks who've been going through the digital evaluation, and that's how they end the conversation. they're normally ending it going, my goodness, we were just a delta nth off. And if it can only do it under this type of condition, on this sort of substrate, blah, 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 then we would have hit the bullseye. We come away going, wow, that sure looks a lot easier for us to produce a digital blank than trying to ramp up 4 converting lines from 3 color to 5 and scaling up our entire operation just to do that. So for us, it is a good fit because of exactly what it does. And sometimes the beauty of what it does is it defines what it doesn't do. And I think that that's the interesting new spot where this type of, I think of it as the next stage or the next, 2.0 of digital and corrugated is going in this direction of more uncoated than coated and more everyday than extreme high-end top shelf. I think there's a market and a world of opportunity there for us to address.
So you've used some words there, opportunities, next stage. So tell me, what's next for Independent 2? I mean, what plans have you got for the next couple of years ahead of you, Finn?
Sure. Micro macro level with the digital center, we're very eager to add a dynamic stacker to that machine center. When we're doing that, we're also going to be making some improvement to getting our sheets to the feed section. That's really just a little bit of conveyance, a little bit of lift, but that's going to round out our ability to really get work through the machine at press speed, which is the goal, obviously. We think we'll be able to do that probably within 6 months, hopefully a little sooner. The next thing is which, all your viewers, if they could literally understand our digital journey, I have to walk a half a mile to my left to get to my digital press right now. It's in the only space available in our park. It's down at the opposite end in a warehouse. Meanwhile, converting and designing the business part of the company's way over here. What we'll be doing in 18 months is addressing that under one roof. So we're working now to finalize plans on a major expansion in this area. That's going to allow us to just broaden our service to our market, probably do more in less time, and then really get our dynamic horses right to the right part of the track. And that's something that's going to be very, very powerful. This idea of digital whip. Like I said, being able to feed flexos, being able to feed die cutters, being able to feed some of our short box centers, just stream work to them throughout the day with a lot less back and forth is really, really something that we're looking forward to.
Great. Well, Finn, thank you so much indeed. It's been absolutely fascinating catching up with you. Great to hear that the North American corrugated market is, coping so well under this good pressure.
Right.
And obviously, I wish you all the success with the coming 6 months with the Domino, with the upgrades you're going to be doing there, and obviously then moving into a bigger facility. So I guess I will look forward to having a cold beer with you at Supercore Expo. Yeah. And in the meantime, thank you so much indeed, and take care of yourself.
Absolutely, Dan. Cheers. And obviously, when you're able to get to Louisville, I'd love to give you a tour. And if we can ever do anything virtually for the audience at the right time and place, then know that we're happy to help in any way that we can.